Good afternoon. Great to see everyone here today in the beautifully restored Norman James Theater. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand as the Reverend Claire Nevenfield offers the invocation, and then to remain standing for the national anthem. Reverend Nevenfield.
I place on the altar of this day the quiet loyalty of breath, the tent of thought where I shelter, waves of desire I am sure to, and all beauty drawn to the eye. May my mind come alive today to the invisible geography that invites me to new frontiers, to break the dead shell of yesterdays, to risk being disturbed and changed. May I have the courage today to live the life that I would love, to postpone my dream no longer, but do at last what I came here for, and waste my heart on fear no more. Adapted from a morning offering by John O'Donohue.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you both for both the beautiful invocation and that lovely rendition of the anthem. Please be seated. So it's my pleasure to welcome you all today to George Washington's birthday convocation for the year 2025. How wonderful it is to host this celebration in, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, the beautiful and newly renovated Norman James Theater. It's a beautiful setting for this wonderful afternoon. Washington College has always combined tradition and a passion for history with a commitment to meeting the challenges of the day and moving our students and our country forward into a better future. Events like the birthday convocation help us to do this, as do campus spaces that are named for our predecessors, like the Norman James Theater, and for that matter, William Smith Hall itself. We're all familiar with the lessons and example President Washington set for us as Americans. A model of servant leadership, more dedicated to the well-being of his new nation than to his own personal ambitions. Stepping down after 2 presidential terms, initiating the sacred tradition of a peaceful transfer of power, and showing through action, rather than mere words, that the United States would have no king. Those of us here probably also know that Washington College was the first institution of higher education chartered in the new country. While the first president was our namesake, the college's founder was William Smith, who was a revolutionary of sorts himself, responsible for the innovative educational approach pioneered here at this, the very first liberal arts college. Our mission of using a liberal arts education to prepare and to inspire future citizen leaders began in that year, 1782. And today we continue to develop and to provide a reinvigorated model of liberal arts education for students in the 21st century. Norman James may be less familiar to those of us today, even though his time at the college was much more recent. Dr. James taught English literature at Washington College from 1952 to 1978, and he was known for his wit, his vivacity, and his powerful voice. Like Smith, he was a fervent supporter of those very same liberal arts, advocating for the fine arts within the college curriculum. He founded and directed the humanities program here, arguably the single best embodiment of the liberal arts philosophy that we have. But all of his contributions, James was most proud of his effort to integrate the student body. This too is an expression of the liberal arts approach to education. We continue to believe that welcoming the widest array of students and backgrounds, experiences, and viewpoints into a community produces the very best educational outcomes for everyone. In reading what I could find about Dr. James, I found a statement of his about the function of a college education that's as true today as it was when he made it in an interview 52 years ago. Quoting him, "Education affords values, values with which to confront the world, no matter what happens to it." We're here today to recognize faculty, alumni, and members of our Washington College and Chestertown communities for their service to our students, to our region, our town, and to our society. Like Washington, each of them has lived their values, and by their example, helped to pass them on. I am proud to celebrate achievements with you all, and grateful for their contributions. First, I'd like to introduce
In today's program, you have 3 faculty members, an alumna, a member of the Chestertown community, all honored for their service to the larger Washington College family. As chairman of the board, visitors and governors, I have a terrific vantage point from which to see that Washington College is not just one thing, and it can't be. It isn't just students learning from faculty, although that is the core of our mission and identity. It is also the heart of a network of 1,000 alumni throughout this country who are tied together through one shared experience and commitments. And it is a vital part of Chestertown and the Eastern Shore, just as these places and people who live and work in them make a critical contribution to what Washington College is and to what it can offer. Congratulations to all of the award winners. Thank you for everything you have done for our community, and thank you to everyone who has joined us today to celebrate them. Now, please join me in welcoming Provost Tiehel Kim to the podium to start with the presentation of awards.
Thank you, Rick. And at this time, I would like to invite Suzanne Tex. So the next section of the convocation is the Cromwell Award for Innovation in Teaching. As any good teacher knows, teaching excellence is not a one-time achievement. It is an ongoing process that requires faculty members to continue to develop their skills and constantly rethink their own approaches to teaching and learning. The Cromwell Center for Teaching and Learning seeks to sustain and encourage Washington College's instructors on their journey with the Cromwell Award for Innovation in Teaching, named in recognition of the continued generosity of the center's benefactor, Barbara Cromwell, and her late husband, George. This honor, awarded annually, recognizes achievements in the new use of instructional technologies, the use of traditional technologies in creative ways, novel approaches to instruction, and new ways to engage students in the learning process. As such, the award seeks to reward instructors who have particularly powerful, positive impact on student learning, student readiness, and student retention. The 2025 Cromwell Award for Innovation in Teaching is being awarded to Suzanne Tex for her achievements developing the teaching of writing in labs of the introductory biology core sequence, the impact she has had on so many Washington College students as a result, and the support she has provided the faculty members and ambiguous help tips on how to provide useful feedback to students on their writing. Suzanne has crafted coursework that has deepened the students' understanding of the writing process, composing, revising, and responding to edits of their writing. Incorporating these skills in a required introductory level course guarantees that students have the writing skills that they need as they move into upper level courses, helping them to develop the ability to effectively communicate scientific information. Suzanne's use of strategic feedback and bin-based grading have both been a real boon to the instructors teaching general biology labs. She has decreased the grading workload while simultaneously helping faculty provide more useful feedback to the students. Suzanne's innovative approaches in teaching, writing, incorporating both the instructor and students in her program has been hugely successful. Suzanne's innovative and multifaceted approach to teaching scientific writing in the general biology labs has been a boon to our students, instructors, the biology department at large, and for the writing program at the college. Suzanne, please come forward to receive your award.
Congratulations, Suzanne. Well deserved. The Joseph Holt Distinguished Service Award recognizes exceptional performance, leadership, and service by an employee of Washington College. The recipients of this award have a record of exemplary performance and distinctive contributions to our community. They have improved the college's programs and campus activities and have shown outstanding commitment to the campus as a whole. I am delighted to announce the two 2025 award recipients. Dr. Mary Alice Ball. Over her tenure as Dean of Library and Academic Technology at Washington College, Mary Alice Ball has shown a deep commitment to students and dedication to both the college and the local community. As a passionate advocate for the library, Mary Alice has enhanced its role as a dynamic academic and technological hub, ensuring that both faculty and students have access to cutting-edge resources that are crucial for their success at Washington College. She shows in her actions tremendous care for her staff, as well as for students and faculty alike. She goes out of her way to meet and to get to know students, and has served as a supportive mentor to so many, helping them to reach their goals in concrete and important ways. She has driven changes that have made the library facilities more conducive to student collaboration, to study, and yes, even their comfort. She has actively sought feedback from students about how the library can better serve them, and has followed through on providing solutions to their concerns, including through improvement of the physical space to meet their ever-evolving needs. Mary Alice's leadership has fostered a collaborative and innovative team within the library, prioritizing professional development and empowering her staff to both grow and excel. Her mentorship has been integral to the success of her team and to the library's continued positive impact on our campus. She has been a fearless and unrelenting advocate for the library, articulating the needs of the department in moving the strategic goals of the college forward with boundless energy, courage, and empathy. Beyond her work on campus, Mary Alice has strengthened the college's connection with the Chestertown community through her involvement in key organizations and initiatives. She has become a trusted figure, not only at Washington College, but within the broader community. Mary Alice, I am pleased today to give you this well-deserved award. Now I'd like to call Dr. Aaron Krochmal to the stage. Our colleague Aaron Krochmal fills many roles on campus, approaches each one with the same level of commitment, and has the same beneficial impact, whether you're talking about his work as a professor of biology, as advisor to two vital student organizations, or as a colleague willing to undertake service assignments that can be draining at times, even though they are essential. It would be difficult to find someone on campus whose experience hasn't somehow been positively influenced by Aaron's work for the college and for its students. For many years, all academic integrity cases started with him and his tough but fair, even inspiring judgment. Anyone who's had a biology class with Aaron recognizes him as an excellent instructor, dedicated to his craft, who truly wants students to succeed and to grow as biologists and as human beings. Aaron holds all of his students to incredibly high standards, not just for academic excellence, but actually for integrity as well, and commitment to the greater good and collegial interdependence. The young men of Kappa Sigma fraternity speak reverently about him as their advisor, and many in the community and beyond have benefited from the outreach programs sponsored by that organization. Aaron grows student leaders who take a great deal of pride in their charitable and philanthropic work. His commitment to community and connection is also evident in his ongoing service to Hillel House, where the guiding principle has been a phrase that Aaron coined. They serve the cultural, spiritual, and religious needs of their students. From the moment a single Hillel student raises an idea that would improve their experience, Erin is determined to work together to make it happen. From helping students untangle their feelings on religious identity and complicated geopolitical issues, to making relevant the week's Torah portion, Hillel students know he's there for them and for that organization. Together with co-advisor Gabe Feinberg, Erin has helped Hillel reinvigorate the college's connections with the Jewish community in our region, and they have worked to bring more interfaith members into Hillel events and celebrations like the Pride Shabbat, bagel brunches, holiday activities, 2 widely attended public Passover Seders, open houses, and more. Erin approaches all of these endeavors with such a generous wholeheartedness and a commitment to excellence. His ability to convene people in a supportive and nurturing community, and his willingness to do the hard work required to make important things happen helped to make Washington College a wonderful institution. Erin, it's my pleasure today to give you this well-deserved award. Once again, congratulations to our 2 very distinguished and deeply deserving Joseph L. Holt Distinguished Service Award recipients. At this time, I would like to introduce another of our honored guests, the chair of the Washington College Alumni Board, Mr. Eddie Raleigh. He's a member of the class of 2008, and he's here to present the award honoring our alumni. Eddie.
The Washington College Alumni Service Award was created in 1986 to formally recognize dedicated alumni. It is bestowed annually on an alumnus who has given outstanding and continued support to the college and/or the Alumni Association. He or she has been instrumental in encouraging prospective students to apply to Washington College, has contributed financially to the college, has been willing to spend their time and energy as things such as a class agent, a member of the Alumni Alliance, Board of Visitors and Governors members, alumni chapter officers, or work on special projects championed by the college's Alumni Association. I'm gonna go off script here for a minute, and I want to tell you, the Alumni Board has 2 primary, very important functions. And they're the Nominations Committee, which puts people on the Alumni Board, and the Awards Committee. These are the ones that are in the constitution of the Alumni Board. And you're going to know why I mentioned this in a minute. This year's recipient is Kalina Wiseman Calhoun, who I've always called Kalina Calhoun, so I'm sorry I tripped over the name there. Class of '99. Kalina has been strengthening the Washington College community since her days as a student, when she was one of the founding members of the Black Student Union. Her support for that organization continued in the decades since her graduation, as her support for current students and the college has also continued. She returns to campus annually for fellowship with current students of color and alumni, and for the past 22 years, she has hosted an annual or biannual cookout at her home for them as well. Kalina's efforts have helped our alumni reconnect and enabled a network between alumni and current students. She keeps in touch with many of the current students and young alumni throughout the year and has been instrumental in their Washington College journey. And this is only now do we get to the part that I knew about Kalina when we were even considering these awards, which, as I mentioned, we take pretty seriously. Kalina has been an active contributor to the more formal efforts and support of the Alumni Board. She's a former member of the Alumni Board. She was chair of the Alumni Awards Committee, one of those 2 functions, and she currently serves as a general member of the Nominations Committee, a role I think she's had during my entire tenure on the Alumni Board. She has also been an Alumni Volunteers Admissions volunteer, and formerly she was on the Alumni Alliance and was the representative for alumni of color. She was Washington's first Alumni of Color correspondent, and in that role, she helped Washington College connect with our amazing alumni of color so that they can be well represented in class notes in the Washington College magazine. Colina, please come forward for your award.
Eddie, and congratulations again, Colina, for your well-deserved award. The President's Medal is intended to recognize the accomplishments of an individual or an organization that has made significant contributions to the advancement of Washington College and or the region. Our recipient this year is James Butch Clark. Butch, would you like to join me on the stage? For more than 4 decades, Butch has been an unsung hero of Chestertown's festivals, celebrations of the arts, public music events, and indeed just about all the community events that make Chestertown such a delightful community. He has been one of the community's hardest working and most dedicated volunteers, providing crucial technical and logistical support for things like the Chestertown Tea Party Festival, Music in the Park, the Garfield Center for the Arts, the Downtown Chestertown Association, Main Street Chestertown, Sumner Hall, and pretty much any festival that takes place in Chestertown at all. Butch steps forward for any event or production that requires sound production or stage management. He does all of his work quietly, often behind the scenes. He graciously shares his own equipment with any organization, and he comes with a wealth of knowledge that is really unparalleled. Butch knows exactly what is logistically possible and what isn't. He knows by heart every electrical access point in town. Not only does he provide crucial information during the months of planning that are required to get any big event off the ground, but once that event takes place, you can count on Butch to work as many hours and days as necessary to make it fantastic. It would take a small army of people to replace him, so you're not allowed to go anywhere. The President's Medal is awarded to individuals who have an exemplary record of sustained contribution to the quality of life in our community, service to their fellow human beings, and a dedication to the fulfillment of the ideals represented in the Washington College mission statement. Butch Clark is the perfect example of a citizen leader who serves as an example to younger generations to live a life of purpose and to pursue one's passion. Butch, it is truly my pleasure to give you this award today. It is well deserved. I would now like to ask Tammy Tiehel Stedman to join me at the lectern. Tammy Tiehel Stedman, member of the class of 1986, is our keynote speaker this afternoon, and I'm really looking forward to hearing her thoughts. Tammy is a Washington College star, quite literally. She's having been inducted into the Athletics Hall of Fame for her exploits in women's lacrosse, and she's also a terrific example of the impact and the importance of a liberal arts education at a small, community-focused college like ours. Her career has been remarkable and varied, providing both a goal and an inspiration for the students of today. The quick fact about Tammy that gets the most attention, and rightfully so, is the fact that she is an Oscar winner. The short film that she produced for her master's thesis at the American Film Institute, titled My Mother Dreams of the Satan's Disciples in New York. I think that bears repeating. My Mother Dreams of the Satan's Disciples in New York. It really is a funny and endearing short film that thoroughly deserved that honor. Tammy shows that Washington College alumni are well equipped to reach the pinnacle of any industry that they enter into. But I'm just as impressed by the rest of Tammy's career and the ongoing success that she has found in it. In addition to being an Oscar winner, Tammy is an entrepreneur, having founded a successful production company in suburban Philadelphia. Her projects have included short films, non-profit videos, and the feature film called Slow Learners. She's currently executive producer for a podcast that has been running for years now and hosted guests ranging from David Byrne to David Brooks. Only Davids, apparently. Highlighting Davids. But this really does show that the liberal arts spirit always keeps one learning and growing, professionally as well as personally. Tammy's creativity, her curiosity, and her drive to make herself a role model and make Washington College lucky to call her an alum. Tammy, I'm going to hand over the lectern to you, and welcome and congratulations.
Hello, and thank you so much for having me. It's wonderful to be on. And welcoming me to the WC community. I still have that letter. It represented everything that would make my college experience transformative: personal connection, individual attention, and a genuine sense of community. Coming from a large public high school outside of Philadelphia with 543 students in just my senior class, to Washington College with a total enrollment of 850 students at the time, was like stepping into a different world. One where every individual mattered, where every professor knew not just your name, but your story, your struggles, and your potential. This wasn't just about smaller class size. It was about a fundamental approach to education that emphasized personal growth and responsibility to community. As a freshman in Dr. Erica Salk's German class, I was invited to her home during the first few weeks of my fall semester for a gathering. Walking into her comfortable home on Water Street, I found myself in a warm, bohemian atmosphere filled with people, German food, lively music, and the first and largest loom I'd ever seen, which took up almost the entire room it was in. Dr. Salak, I learned, was an accomplished weaver and was in the midst of creating a gorgeous tapestry. That evening made me feel so welcome, and it showed me that the professors here weren't just teachers. They were fascinating individuals willing to share their whole selves with us. When I almost overslept for a final exam later that same year, another professor, Dr. Joachim Schultz, who taught my German 2 class of only 8 students, who, by the way, all sat together at a small U-shaped table with Dr. Schultz right in the middle of us, he didn't just mark me absent, he was literally walking down the stairs of this very building to check on me as I came racing in the front door. And he said, "Oh, I was just going to the faculty lounge to see if I could call your dorm." That kind of care is rare and precious. While these experiences showed me how Washington College professors went above and beyond for their students, it was my relationship with Dr. Tiehel which had the most profound impact on my development. I declared international relations as my major and started taking as many classes as I could with Dr. Ahn. Before each class, he could be found standing by his classroom door, greeting students with his huge smile and a genuine interest in our lives. In class, he taught with passion, deep knowledge, and great enthusiasm. He encouraged us to engage with him and each other, to share our viewpoints, and to ask many, many questions. He shared stories from his own life, surviving the Korean War, learning bits of English from the American GIs, coming to America, and becoming a published author in his second language. He showed us that adversity could be transformed into achievement through persistence and hard work. He made me want to be a better student and a better person. Dr. Ahn had an incredible ability to both challenge and encourage. His comments on our papers weren't just grades, they were thoughtful responses to our ideas. I'll never forget getting back a paper I'd worked particularly hard on, titled The Traditional Secondary Role of Women in Japanese Society. He gave it an A with the comment, "Good work, you have an excellent sense of humor." Now, how that man found humor in that dry topic, I have no idea. But here I am 40 years later, still walking around thinking I have a good sense of humor, and it comes through in my writing. Dr. Ahn knew when to be tough too, though. During the spring of my senior year, I was juggling my thesis, regular classwork, playing lacrosse, and a big end-of-the-season tournament, feeling pressure to get everything done, and admittedly, after some procrastination and possibly a bit of drinking at the Bluebird or the Village Tavern, I asked him for a thesis deadline extension, which he generously granted. Newly emboldened, I went back to him a couple of weeks later to ask for yet another extension. This time, he turned icy cold and refused. He stared at me, and I sat there feeling ashamed and then burst into tears. Not because he said no, but because I felt I hadn't lived up to his high standards. What happened next was priceless. This brilliant, distinguished professor became completely flustered by my tears. I swear he started to sweat and turned away awkwardly so I could compose myself. After what felt like a very long period of silence, he handed me a tissue, looked me in the eye, and told me in no uncertain terms that I had a job to do and I'd better do it. These foundational experiences at Washington College, the small seminars, the deep discussions, the close relationships with professors, staff, and fellow students, have shaped my entire career in unexpected but profound ways. After Washington College, I went on to study at the American Film Institute, which led to years of producing films, documentary television, and now podcasting. Throughout my career in media production, I've drawn constantly on the skills I developed here as a student. Curiosity, critical thinking, the ability to explore complex stories from multiple perspectives. Today, as executive producer of the Kelly Corrigan Wonders podcast, I spend my days doing exactly what I learned to do right here. Being curious, asking good questions, and creating space for diverse perspectives to be heard. It's no coincidence that 2 years ago, when we decided to explore the state of higher education in America on the podcast, we created a series called Live from College, where we posed the question, what's the value of a liberal arts education today? I already had a pretty good idea. Those intimate WC classroom experiences had taught me the power of small group discussions where every voice matters. In my tiny seminars here, you couldn't hide in the back row. There was no back row. You had to engage, to contribute, to listen to your classmates' perspectives. Now, decades later, that's exactly what we try to create in our podcast. Conversations that matter, where diverse viewpoints are welcomed, and complex ideas can be explored with nuance and care. While interviewing Columbia University professor Andrew Del Bongo for our Live from College series, he said something that took me right back to my Washington College days. He talked about how the liberal arts education is fundamental to democracy, that it equips people to examine received wisdom and to question assumptions, including their own. This isn't just academic theory. I witnessed this transformation firsthand here, both in myself and in my classmates. Think about the challenges we face today as a society. Artificial intelligence, climate change, growing inequality, the erosion of civil discourse, the future of democracy itself. These aren't problems that can be solved by any single field of expertise. They're complex issues that require citizens who can think critically, engage with different perspectives and work towards solutions that serve the common good. That's exactly what a liberal arts education prepares us to do. In the classrooms here, students aren't just studying history or literature or political science. They're learning how to be thoughtful citizens. Back when Dr. Ahn pushed us to analyze global conflicts from multiple perspectives, when Dr. Salek encouraged us to question our assumptions about other cultures, when our professors insisted we back up our opinions with evidence, they were teaching us the skills essential for maintaining a healthy democracy. To the students here today, you are part of something special. Take advantage of these precious opportunities for connection. Talk to your professors outside of class. Get to know students who seem different from you. Say yes to unexpected invitations. These moments will shape not just who you become, but how you serve others throughout your life. The true measure of a Washington College education isn't just in the careers we build or the achievements we accumulate. It's in how we learn to think, to question, to grow, and ultimately to serve our communities. That's what makes this place so special, and that's what makes me eternally grateful to be part of the Washington College family. Thank you so much for including me.
What a terrific message, Tammy. Thank you so much. And it all goes back for me to how important it is to study German. Sorry. I had to indulge myself on that a little bit. That the liberal arts have something unique to offer this particular moment that we find ourselves in historically. I feel proud and grateful that the Washington College community, and that includes alumni, students, faculty, staff, our neighbors, show such an inherent drive and ability and willingness to rise to meet whatever challenges come. As we conclude this afternoon's convocation, I want to extend an invitation to everyone here to please join us for a reception in the lobby where you will have a chance to meet and congratulate each of our very deserving honorees and our keynote speaker today. And now as we close the program, will the audience please stand for the alma mater? Following the singing of the alma mater, please do remain standing for the benediction and the academic recession.
Freedom.
blessing. The world is too beautiful and too dangerous now for anything but love. May your eyes be so blessed that you see the dignity in everyone. Your ears so you hear the cry of the poor. Your hands so blessed that everything you touch is a sacrament. Your lips so you speak nothing but the truth with love. May your feet be so